I try to do good. Um, so, like I said, a few seconds ago live, but how are you, my good sir?
I'm good.
After
I'm good.
this, after this kerfuffle of setting up a stream, a
We got
simple
there in the end.
stream. Yeah, like I don't know what happened. Was he on my end? It came up as a black little loading circle.
Yeah.
Or was he got confused with buttons, exited, went back into the studio, which we're on now. And he came up.
I don't know. I could see and hear you. We were both live online, but
Well, that's the thing. Was if I went onto my PlayStation and went onto the stream, it was like that, like normal sort of thing.
mm.
It was this end. I'm like, fucking bastard. Um, but you've been right, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. A bit hot. I've just stopped the heating on in the games room and then realised I've got too hot in here now. So
Well, to be honest, I've been in the kitchen all day. I was at work. So I was having sort of over like fryers and sort of in front of pizza ovens and things like that. So I've been sort of fairly warm all day, sort of thing.
Well, that's all right
You
this
know?
time of year, but in the summer it's not going to be nice, is it?
No, it's not exactly fun, to be honest. Like you said, this sort of time of year where we're meant to be getting snow, it's sort of not too bad, sort of thing.
Oh, we won't get snow down south. We're too much of a wuss of a lightweight to get snow down here.
Well, that's the thing. Obviously, people saying, "Oh, we must be getting fucking snow." Where I'm in Essex, we don't really get it. But by the time it's done, it's all like fucking north and that. I'm like, why say it and not get it in Essex? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, when it comes down here, it normally gets as far as Winchester and stops for us. So we don't get it any further than Winchester.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I'd do this all these streams. I got thinking, everyone's doing streams this year. I know you're doing one on the 18th. Fingers crossed I can join, but obviously I won't know until I get that week's rota, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I thought obviously people are talking about Christmas time and things like that. I thought, fuck it, I want to do like a year. We basically review the year sort of thing and talk about the pros and cons of what's basically the community sort of thing. And I thought I'd talk about setting goals and things like that for next year. I know, like I said in the sort of stream earlier, or the one we have cancelled, it was people sort of have like this sort of losing weight, doing like dry January and shit like that. I'm like, they last like fucking 2 days. Them sort of goals. So I thought, fuck it, I want to sort of do like YouTube gaming sort of community based goals for yourself, sort of thing.
Yep. You gave me a couple of hours notice.
Yeah, it's we all have that. I think we all have goals. I think not everyone sort of sticks to them. I thought, fuck it, if we do a video, it's sort of evidence that we don't now stick to them.
Oh, you didn't tell me that bit.
I think you can lie to me. Don't give me bullshit ones if you want. I don't mind. Bit of entertainment for people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think there's a few YouTube things I want to do next year and a few gaming things I want to do next year. So
yeah,
gaming wise, I want to get more into my serious RPGs and dedicate more time to those. Now I've got a room to go and sit and do it in. I want to start getting into some of those heavy hitter RPGs. So I've got a couple I know coming for Christmas. So I'm on the verge of finishing one now, so I'm not going to start another one before Christmas. So
that's the thing. RPGs, they're not exactly overnight games, are they?
No,
really.
No.
But
I like to get invested into it.
Yeah. Are you solely sticking to RPGs, or are you including JRPGs and all?
Oh no, mainly JRPGs, but sort of all action RPGs, anything really. If it looks good and I enjoy it, then I'll play through it. So
that's it. I think
anything from the modern graphics through to the sort of 16-bit graphics as well. I don't mind.
I know I've got a couple of sort of RPGs in my collection. I've got a couple of JRPGs in my collection. The only ones that I'll sort of happily sit down and play are the Persona series. That's the only one I'll sort of happily sit down and sort of play. I know a lot of people talk about Final Fantasy. Me personally, it's not the sort of thing I'll play. But I understand why. I
Final
understand why
Fantasy's on my
people.
list to play, and I haven't
Yeah,
started it yet. So
like, I got two of the games, but only because for the Vita.
yeah.
So it's and obviously me being the Vita guy, sort of I need them in that sort of collection.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming for Christmas, so that's a bit like Persona. I'm not going to say it's like Persona
Yeah,
because people hate you for that, but it's a bit like Persona. And Ys 9 Monstrum Nox I'm getting at Christmas, so that's another one I'm looking to get into. But I've still got in my backlog. I've got Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. I've got Final Fantasy 7. I've got Witcher 3 I haven't finished. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 I haven't finished. So I've got a few to get on with as well. So
yeah. I think you can easily fill up your year just with JRPGs. Easily.
Yes, and I've got one mind that Zelda may come out next year, so I don't want to get too heavily invested in something and Zelda comes along as well. So
The thing is, like with Zelda, Ozzy, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off by saying this. I'm not really a Zelda fan.
right,
And
I'm leaving now.
it seems they did right go. um, it's the more I look at the newer ones, the more I'm like, maybe I should change my mind, sort of thing. Especially with that Breath of the Wild sort of thing. Maybe it's worth sort of sitting down and sort of actually investing time in Zelda.
Breath of the Wild, and I don't care what Al says, it's definitely the best one there.
Yeah, but what normal person listens to Al? If we're being honest.
I'm not going to sit on this stream and start slagging people off, but yeah.
I love
Breath of the Wild.
I love Al to bits, but he's like that sort of innocent younger brother you sort of love. You don't help but love him, sort of thing.
He's into a different type of game. He likes his Pokemon, so he likes his turn-based sort of Pokemon as an RPG, turn-based stuff, and he likes his horse games and stuff. FIFA. He likes his horse games, and he likes his little indie platformers. So he's into a different type of game than Zelda, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's what I sort of love about the community. That is so much different taste across the board, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of people's videos. I watch Evercade stuff. I've got no interest in the Evercade. I watch Evercade stuff. Yeah. I've got no interest in 8-bit microcomputers. I'll watch that as well on YouTube. People have got their own things. I mean,
yeah.
If I had unlimited money and a big enough game room, I'd have Sega in here as well. But I haven't got that space, so it's not going to happen.
I think with microcomputers, I think I was. By the time I was born, and by the time I was getting into gaming, I'm like 5 or 10 years sort of too young for that. I'm 29, so I'm like, by the time I was getting into gaming, sort of microcomputers were pretty much obsolete, sort of thing. So that and fucking bar sort of thing. So really, for me, it was sort of Sega and sort of Nintendo. So it was sort of. I've got more. I've got some nostalgia for Sega. I better say that so I don't piss off Sega Zombie. But it is primarily sort of the N64 Game Boy sort of era for me.
I mean, I've had a chat with Sega Zombie. He likes Nintendo. I like Sega. It's all good. I mean, you're going to end up in one camp or the other. And when I started recollecting again, it was I like my modern games and my retro games, and Sega just don't have modern consoles anymore. So if Sega was still making consoles today, I've probably been collecting Sega. So, and that's why. I mean, my brother had a Nintendo, I had a Sega, so the nostalgia was there for both. So,
yeah, I think I'm sort of it sort of upsets me personally that Sega's only making games for other systems. not their own stuff, sort of thing, for like their own platform. It sort of upsets me.
It'll be hard for them to re-enter now. I mean, you look at anything that's outside of the big three now trying to enter. It's very difficult for them. So
Yeah,
I'd
but
love Sega.
I think obviously you see sort of small companies trying to sort of break into it. I think if anyone could kind of break into it, it will be Sega.
I really do hope so. I'd love to see Sega back. Something because Microsoft and Sony just push each other along. They're both the two powerhouses trying to outdo each other, and Nintendo seem to do their own thing. But back in the 16-bit era, Nintendo and Sega were pushing each other along. Nintendo's still doing their own thing, and I'd love another company to come in and sort of push Nintendo to go that extra step.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Microsoft and Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony sort of push each other to be better. I think you need that sort of same sort of thing with Nintendo, which I think the Sega would be the perfect sort of match, like it was in the 90s. You know, it's sort of. I mean, as much as companies hate competition, you need competition to be better.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just going to say quite hi, Paul and James in the chat before we forget.
That's it. Yeah, I am sort of paying attention to the chat. It's sort of, but I was trying to being a man, he's struggling to multitask sort of thing.
So Paul's put he loved Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. That completely passed me by on the Game Boy. I was not into the handhelds at all when I was younger. I couldn't understand why you would spend money on a handheld console when you've got a perfectly good console at home and it had better graphics. And if I was out with my mates chasing girls. I didn't need a Game Boy with me. So I completely missed Link's Awakening until the Switch, and I fully loved it on Switch. Completed it, loved that game. So that's another game you should try out. It's a smaller Zelda game, so you might enjoy that one.
I think it was for me, like I said, the age for me was right for Game Boy. So it was being, I'll say about 8, 9 years old at the time. It was that sort of right age for me. Obviously, I weren't at the age for girls at the time, sort of thing. So for me, it was the Game Boy sort of thing, and I think that's where my love now for the Vita comes from, because there's so much nostalgia for the Game Boy. It's sort of, for me, it's that modern sort of equivalent sort of thing, like powerhouse sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean the Game Boy. My brother had a Game Boy, and all chances I've ever got to play on it was Super Mario Land and Tetris. So apart from those two games, I don't really have any nostalgia for the Game Boy. I've got one, and I've got some Pokemon games and stuff, but do I play them? No.
I think with the Pokemon games, obviously at the moment, because fucking prices are fucking skyrocketing on most games, you're paying like 120, 130 pounds for a Pokemon game, like one of the original ones. I'm like, why?
You're paying more. If it's got the box, you'll be paying more than that.
Well, I think last time I looked, bear in mind this was a couple of months ago, so prices probably have changed. Pokemon Blue in my local CEX was about 130. Pokemon Blue, and that was boxed, and I think manual was again. It was a couple of months ago. But even then, you pay 130 quid for Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't justify that. I've got red and I've got yellow, and why would I spend that kind of money on blue? I know it's to have the set, but I'm never going to play it. It's just going to be £130 on the shelf.
I looked at when I was with my mate yesterday. We looked at the Japanese ones. It's like, if you want Pokemon box, you don't want it for display purposes, buy Japanese. You know, it's a lot cheaper. You know, it's like, I think Japanese with most things is a lot cheaper.
So what are your gaming goals for next year then?
One of them is doing more. Actually, I can probably put two together. It's doing more events, whether it's doing obviously EGX is obviously fucking profound. I'm not doing EGX fucking until I die. I want to do obviously I want to try Comic Con and I want to do a gaming market. But at the same time, I want to sort of do more meetups at these events.
Yeah.
You know, get to know the sort of community a bit more, sort of thing. And instead of over a stream or over a WhatsApp message, it's a bit more personable, sort of thing. That's what I want to sort of try and hit for next year.
Yeah, I mean, the events that have come up, they've all been the wrong time for me, so I haven't really been able to get to any. So I was trying to get to Donington or even to Dana's opening, which I think's moved back now to December or maybe January. I don't think I'm going to get up there for that either. So it'd be nice to try and get some ticked off next year. I mean, EGX is already penciled in that I'll be going to that. I'm going to try to go to more than one day this time. Just because I'm hoping there's going to be more there next year. So.
Well, firstly, what one are you going to? Are you doing both or are you doing one or the other?
Definitely London, maybe the other.
Okay. Obviously, me personally, I'm doing both. But obviously, I know when I was watching one of the EGX streams, and basically when they sort of announced next year's shows, one of them, obviously one of these sort of, I think it was Ethan Wilson or one of the people on their YouTube channel, basically said, like, we've now got more time to plan, with more breathing space to plan. Because obviously with this year, pretty much most of the year, everything was up in the air. You never know if there's been a lockdown.
It was put on late. A lot of the big names weren't there, and as I said when I did my video, I think it was very socially distanced. There was a lot of space around, and okay, it was an event. I got to go again. You could have done everything in half a day, I think.
As much as I hate to say it, because I do love EGX, you probably should have done a day max and got the same experience.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was sort of socially distanced. It was because of that you had limited stuff. It was sort of it was nice to go back to an EGX. Do not get me wrong.
No,
at the same time,
agreed.
the social distancing didn't help.
No.
And to respond to Game Zone Birderham, yes, I'm technically wearing my chef jacket still. I've not got out of it. I literally got home, put my phone in charge for a bit, sort of had a drink, and sort of could not be bothered to change. It was one of them days. What other sort of
comments.
Yeah. I'm trying my best sort of read comments. Change it, naughty boy. Mate,
not live on stream. No.
No, trust me, mate. You do not want to see my man titties on stream. You know what's that? Obviously, you might know better than I do. There was a YouTuber a while ago that kept doing streams topless.
Oh, that's Yorkshire man.
Yeah, I could be a chef version of him. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, like clearly a lot younger. So what other goals you got for next year?
So collecting wise, after I've got all my stuff out of storage and put it in here, I realised I've got a lot of shit, and I'm going to start thinning it down and refining my collection. I mean, I'm never going to go for a full Wii set, and why I've got 6 copies of different FIFAs, I'm never going to play. So I'll refine that down to the latest one and things like that. I thought it's a games room my kids are going to use, and so I was picking up Disney Princess and stuff like that. And to be honest, are they ever going to go and play on a DS and play Disney Princess? By the time they're interested in it, there'll be Switch 3 version out, and they'll be on
Yeah.
my old Switch or something like that. So I'll probably start refining that down as well, and just really sticking on the games I'm interested in, and any of the newer games that they might be interested in. But to be honest, why have I got? There's Grease karaoke and stuff like that. I've no interest in playing that.
So you say that though, mate. Have the karaoke game, especially for New Year's. Have the family round, do this karaoke. But then got down to some benefits.
Yeah, I mean, there's some shit. Hang on. I don't know where it is. There's some shit that I picked up. Oh, it's there. That I know I'll play with the kids and stuff, but get that on there.
You must have games this time of year.
Yeah, I'll play that with the kids, but I mean, will they play FIFA 8 when I've got FIFA 9, 10, 11, 12 sat next to it? No. So why have I got FIFA 8?
Well, that's what we've collected.
I've got 2 Sega games in here, James.
I've got 3 Saturn games and like 4 Mega Drive games. But with the Saturn games, 2 of them are games that I've got nostalgia for. So one of them in the collection, which for me is Daytona. So it's I bought Daytona from who's I buying from? Actually, from Sega Zombie. I actually bought them from Swap Shop. So I was like,
got your plug-in Swap Shop.
Yeah, well, I've got to plug it every now and then, didn't I? If I don't, Lee would do it multiple times in a 20-second span. You know what it's like.
I'm all for promoting each other's channels and stuff. That's all good.
I think. So I'm trying not to be negative, but at the same time, I think you've got to help grow. I think that's the problem. You don't want the negativity in life. You want to sort of help each other grow. You know what I mean? It's sort of even in small ways, like it's even like where it's sort of like this, like you jumping on my stream sort of thing. You didn't have to. No, it's sort of. I think things like small things like that. I think makes the community a bit stronger.
Yeah, I mean, I can't always pop on people's streams. It's just when the time's right. Because my son's tested positive, I'm working from home this week, so I've got no commute to work tomorrow. So hence, I've not shaved. My hair's a mess. I'm in crappy clothes, but
I know that
feeling tomorrow, so I don't have to get up in the morning early. So I've got time to do a stream.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm doing the Christmas stream on the 18th. I finish work on the 17th. That's why I picked a late slot. Yeah. No, I've got no reason to get up early or anything, so I'm done for Christmas come the 17th. So
that's the thing. It's like I said, I want to sort of. It's depending on my rota. I want to jump on your stream. If everyone's watching Cooper to the stream on the 18th, plug, wink, nudge.
Yep.
It's trying to sort of find time to sort of jump on people's streams, do videos with people. It's sort of, and obviously when I started this job, within the first week I was sort of positive for COVID myself, and it was not fun. It was not fun. It was. So I know what your son's going through. Having COVID it weren't fun.
Well, he's not got any symptoms whatsoever. He came home from school with a headache. We tested him. He tested positive. We got PCR the next day. We've all tested negative apart from him. And the biggest pain he's got is he's bored, sat home watching YouTube all day. There's only so much Roblox and Minecraft and stuff you can watch before you start going stir crazy, and he's just getting bored, really. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. When I had it initially felt like a really bad cold. It was like I had like 100 flus at once. It took me like half an hour to get motivated to lean over to grab my phone to call in work. It was that bad. Then I sort of that sort of slowly went. Then I sort of felt tired and body was knackered, sort of thing. Then I had, like, for me, the worst part was the lack of, like, when the taste went. Like, for me, like, obviously, for A, for what job I do, and B, so I love fucking eating food, I'm a fat fuck. But that was the worst part of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been quite lucky. I've at the start of last year, in March, I had some flu-like symptoms right at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
At that time, they weren't testing people, and I don't know if I had it or not. So, yeah. So obviously, I've been double jabbed. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm immune, but I've been quite lucky.
No one
Really,
is,
with
that's the
it.
thing.
I've been quite lucky, so I'm quite
Yeah.
trying to stay away from my son as much as difficult as that is. So
With the 12 streams of Christmas,
Hmm.
so is it Game Zone Bodum that's hosting it, or
it was his idea. I think Al came up with the name. James came up with the idea. And it's going to be 12 different streams on different subjects. So I chose the subject of food and drink for Christmas, which is why
Yeah.
I've asked if you are available. If not, I'm going to give you a list of questions I'll read out on the stream. I've asked Retro Chef Lee, obviously, as well. And the only other chef I know is James, Games of Bird Room, which I haven't approached yet. I'll let him know because he's already doing a couple of streams. So it was going to be more like, do you cook Christmas dinner? Because you probably cooked a billion of dinners on Christmas Day. What do you do for Christmas? What are your tips on good Christmas dinner and stuff like that? What little tricks and tips and things like that. But don't answer them now because I want to keep them for the 18th.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah. What was if I can't attend live, then obviously I'll sort of I'll respond to I'll send you the list of questions. I'll sort of send you a video over, sort of thing, responding.
Yeah, I've already spoken to Lee. He obviously needs to know his rotor as well and how busy he's going to be. So if not, I'll just send him a list of questions. He can give me the answers, and then
I think with Lee, from what I gather, he's the sort of place he works at. He normally is one of the sort of fancy places. So normally, I think he sort of finishes sometimes a bit earlier than I normally would. But it's
silly season, so you don't know, do you? Silly season, you don't know what he's going to be doing. So.
No, but I think in a set of like I said, I don't know how everyone else is attacking, or not necessarily attacking, but how they're structuring their streams. But what I like is how you thought about it. You think, okay, that's my topic. I'm going to try and get some, in a sense, of relevant people to sort of help me answer these questions.
Yeah, I mean, get 3 chefs on if I can, and ask them their opinions, their signature dishes, what they do at Christmas. I mean, James cooks every day. You cook every day. Do you want to rest on Christmas Day? Do you not cook and let someone else cook for you? I don't know. Don't answer because I want to save it for the stream. But yeah, it's the sort of thing.
This close to responding to that question.
I mean, people like Lee must have done like 100 Christmas dinners throughout December, and the last thing he wants to do is come home and cook Christmas dinner for his family. Probably, I don't know, but he might just go out for Christmas dinner. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I can't speak on behalf of Lee, but the amount of people I know that work in restaurants that either sort of unfortunately have to work Christmas Day, but it's annoying that a lot of chefs do it, and I think for customers they sort of do take that for granted. That's all. Until that stream, that's all the sounding matter.
Yeah.
But it's. So, what other sort of goals, if any, do you have for next year, if any?
YouTube goals. I want to do more structured videos, not just straight off the cuff. I want to do game reviews. So I want to play an RPG, give a review on it. And I know game reviews don't get the views, but that's something I want to do. I'm
I think
not in it about chasing views and chasing
no,
subscribers. I just want to do something I want to do now. So I I I think I got into YouTube for a bit of fun. I then got suckered
no,
into I need to have pickups every month, and I did check myself, and I don't buy hundreds of pounds worth of games every month just so I've got content. But I did get to the point of I need something to get content, and now I'm more.
yeah,
I want to refine, so I'm not buying the filler rubbish every month, and I just want to get a good game, play it, review it, move on, get another good game, and sort of lessen the pickups, but pick up more quality. There's some games on my list that I really want to pick up. Terra Enigma on the SNES, that's commanding £300
yeah.
plus. So that's not going to be one I pick up a £300 game every month. So
But my last review, I did was just fun to put together. I didn't care if anyone watched it, not really. I think reviews. I think Games No Burden says reviews are great videos. I think it. Yeah, generally speaking, they may not get as many views as most videos do, but I think overall is a good sort of tool for people buying games. Is they can sort of go for about 10, 15 different reviews, I think like sort of put up like an actual sort of proper review on the game before they buy it, sort of thing.
yeah, so
you know, like you said, obviously about picking up games for video, like for content. I think I've sort of started doing the same last few months. I don't want to pick up like shit games or filler titles just so I got them for video. You know what I mean?
It's like the collector's editions as well. Metroid Dread came out, a lovely collector's edition, and I thought I could buy the collector's edition, have some content, then put the game on my shelf and never look at all the extra bits that are in there. Because I'm never going to do it. And I've got some collector's editions, stuff that came with it, it's never going to come out the box, and it just seems a waste of spending 3 times the price to have a big box that's going to go and sit in the attic because I ain't got room.
I think with me, I'm looking now. I've got some special editions, like not like statue special editions, but I got the limited run game or the limited run Giants on Bob Mall Bros, which is like a big sort of special edition. But that's the sort of thing I want in my. That's the thing I enjoy. I want in my collection, sort of thing. I got 3 Vita special editions. Again, being a Vita guy, I wanted them. A lot of with like one of the Assassin's Creed special editions, the Live or Die one.
Yeah,
I picked that up because at the time in my CEX it was the same price as the normal one.
Yeah.
So right, I might as well have to pick that up. You know what I mean?
But if it makes sense to pick one up, then yeah. I mean, I picked up Mario Rabbids special edition. It was cheaper than the normal edition, so it's like a great big bloody statue with it. But, I'm never going to do anything with it. It sits on the shelf, so
yeah.
Get it on but yeah, it's another thing to dust every now and again.
Yeah. But given up on special editions, they take up way too much room. But especially if you buy the statue ones, they do.
Yeah.
I will only get one for a game that really means something. Other than that, I cleared most out. Which I mean, it's obviously with most of my ones, they mean something to me. So for me, it was worth getting them. Games don't burn, but I don't do special editions. I just buy games I like and want to play. Which, for a lot of people, they sort of do that very fine line of sort of like get the games they want, but also showing how much they truly love a game by buying these sort of bigger, better, more glorious edition sort of thing. But like I said, it's if you take away the Vita and that one NES game, pretty much got no special editions, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only going to pick up special editions for games I really love now. So
Yeah.
if Xenoblade 3 comes out next year in a collector's edition, I'll get that. And maybe Zelda,
Yeah.
But for me, if it's a special edition of a game I love, it's got to have the soundtrack. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy it. If it's got art cards and a
Yeah.
bloody statue, no, they're just going to sit in the box and do nothing.
Yeah.
But if it's got a soundtrack that I enjoy, then I'll buy it for the soundtrack.
Yeah. I think it's special edition to me is very similar to what limited run is. It's got to be you want to get it if it's something that means something to you. It's like the amount of limited run games there are. I think by the end of the year, I'll be having two. Both the same game, but for different systems. But it's a game I want. Because obviously a mate of mine's pre-ordered like shit tons. Or it feels like shit tons. Plus every week he's pre-ordered a new limited run because it's a game he wants in his selection, sort of thing. And most of them, or he knows how much I like doing unboxings for his channel, I'm normally sort of one doing the unboxing for him, sort of thing. And but it's things like that. It will take a lot for me to sort of want to get it, basically.
Yeah, and I've done unboxings of special editions before, and again, those don't get the views either. So it's like, am I buying it to have content, or am I buying it because I want it? And I generally buy them now because I want them, but I did fall into the trap and bought one for content, and honestly,
I think it's nice if you can get a game that's both. If you get a game that's both, content you want, it's perfect. You know,
if you're going to buy it for content, you've got to do it on the day of release, otherwise it's gone.
Yeah, there's no point.
Done it already.
Like if you're going to do it, say 6 to 12 months after release, then it's at that point where it's a game that you want to play, not for content.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it for views, but I mean, there's no point in me putting an unboxing video out when there's 50, 100 of them already out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the reason I've done the J Bob one for him, and the reason we've done that, again, is a game that it's related to things I enjoy, but also not a lot of people really doing it for that game, sort of thing. So, or that version of the game. So it was sort of compared to, like I said, most unboxings, it was a bit different compared to most, you know. And like when I done my video last night, my unbooking, if you will, it was something a bit different, but also it was something I was passionate about, sort of thing. So it was easier for me to talk about. So it's nice if you do content about things you're passionate about. You know what I mean? It's don't get me wrong, if you can get the views, bonus. If you can't, it doesn't matter if you still spoke about something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, I've done videos in the past just for content and just trying to hit views, and it's just there's no heart in it.
No.
I don't know why I was doing it, but I felt I had to have a video out every week, and it's just like, no, you don't have to have a video out every week.
I think that's why I kind of went in that little, in a sense, I was still kind of am, but that little pause I was on, it was because I was sort of, I don't want to force myself to do content. I wasn't really in the mood for, sort of thing, or I don't want to go through the motions, sort of thing. I couldn't always do a pickups video, so it was I don't want to sort of put out fake, sort of half-hearted sort of videos in between, sort of thing. It was sort of, it's not me, sort of thing. I'd rather sort of be honest with who I am. You know, it's sort of, if you can't be honest with yourself, then sort of what's the point, sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, so definitely looking to do more RPG stuff and reviews on that. And another thing I'm kind of thinking in the background is sort of like a RPG book club type thing where a few YouTubers all play the same RPG. We get, say, 20, 30 hours in, and then we do a live stream and we'll talk about our thoughts on it
Yeah.
20 or 30 hours in. So sort of that kind of thing. I don't know if that will come off, but it's an idea I've got mulling around in my head. So
It's things like that. I think are worth doing. I think, especially because if you think about it, no one's really doing that. So I think that was
if there is, I haven't found it yet. So
yeah. So I think that'll be, compared to most videos in the community, something a bit different. Like worth watching sort of thing when it does come on, sort of thing. You know, it's sort of yeah. So it's try different things. It never hurts, sort of thing. Obviously, got to be things you enjoy.
I come up with all these little ideas in my head, and I try them out. And if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. I mean, I didn't know if the Mario Kart thing I did earlier in the year was going to work. It seems to have worked. I'm going to do it again next year and see how that goes. I mean, there's been a lot of Mario Kart in the community a lot lately, thanks to Basabi James and Fimi Chicken. So whether the passion's there for it again next year, I don't know. But I'll put a video out in January with whatever course I'm going to put up, and then sort of run the series again from April onwards, I think. So see if that works again. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then that'll probably be the last time I do that, and I'll move on to the next thing. So we need more videos of Pigeon Man.
What's Pigeon Man?
I did a video as Pigeon Man to support Feed Me Chicken.
With a lot of things, I'm so far behind. It's sort of, most shows go in my head, sort of thing.
Yeah, I got asked if I'd bought that pigeon mask, and technically I did buy the pigeon mask, but it was my friend Sonny's well into pigeons, so I bought him the pigeon mask, which he absolutely loved, and I had to borrow it back off him just for the video. But yes.
So with content from you next year, will it be solely gaming, or will you sort of try dabbling in other things?
Well, I watched your stream the other day when you were talking about being nominated for YouTuber of the Month and having to do solely gaming content.
Yeah.
Which isn't true. You have to have gaming content, but you don't have to be solely gaming content.
Well, the way... I mean, I am interpreting the role how I sort of obviously interpret it, sort of thing. So the way I was interpreting it was
I just read that as well.
I was interpreting it as you solely had to do it, which is, if that's the case, I can sort of understand. But at the same time, if you are solely doing it, you're pretty much pigeonholed into one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of 2 tubers off the top of my head that have been nominated in the past, and don't do solely gaming content. I think Ink Northernary does his film reviews. He was, I think, he won this year YouTuber of the Month, and I think last year Gernaldinho Plays. He does those blind bags, so they're not gaming content, and he was allowed. So yeah, I think as long as you've got gaming content on your channel, it doesn't have to be 100%.
Yeah. I think this thing I wanted to, obviously, with a lot of my stuff that I want to sort of try and do next year is more comic book related stuff and more like pop culture type stuff, more like I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, more Kevin Smith sort of stuff. But I don't want to sort of do that and sort of be isolated from not being nominated, sort of thing. I don't want someone to think, I want to nominate him, but at the same time I can't because he's not doing solely gaming, sort of thing.
No, that's. I'm sure that's fine. I mean, the rules may slightly change when the new person takes over in January, but we won't know until January, will we? So
no, but it's like I said, there's things I want to sort of do, and sort of it's like I done that when I done the booking thing last night. It was like partly what Aussie, like I said, I want to do it because it's something I'm passionate about, but at the same time, it's like I remember sort of name names. but it was a tuber during the year. Basically, sort of said, like, I don't want one of the comic book reviews. He basically went, "I don't like comics. I don't like Star Trek. I don't what I'm not going to watch." And I'm like, well, don't watch. The video weren't solely aimed to you. It was sort of, I'm doing it because it's like I want to talk about sort of thing.
I mean, there's content that tubers do that I subscribe to that I'm not interested in, and I won't watch it. I don't thumbs down it. I don't thumb up it. I just don't watch it. So it's fine. Let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah. Mark Harper, don't do things you want to do just because of a small YouTube competition.
Icon.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is like, cause I know when they're the old, is it Retro 5 podcast, what Lee's doing? They sort of spoke about YouTube of the month and the sort of negativity of it. Not negativity, but how it's been sort of, in a sense, watered down sort of thing. But the way I looked at it was, in a sense, when I was nominated, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to win, but I was like ecstatic that I was nominated both times. I was proper happy.
I had a chat with Sega Zombie on the fake accounts, and he said it's something that's well known within YouTube of the month. It's passed on from each host that there are fake accounts, and I think they have got a rule behind the scenes where they go through and check the people that put their vote forward to see if they are a real channel. I think they've got to be older than 3 months or something and stuff like that. So and then those ones get discounted anyway. So
I think the only sort of thing I don't like about YouTube of the month is the way I look at it. Every now and then I sort of each month, every now and then I look at who's been nominated, who's nominated for who, things like that. To me, sometimes it does seem a bit clicky. Sometimes that's probably not the case, but to me, the way I look at things, it's like it does sometimes seem a bit clicky, sort of thing. Like they're voting for their mates and not for someone who's putting out decent videos. It's like it's nice if you do both. So your mate who's putting out good videos. It seems like from the way I see it, it's they choose their mate more than some trying.
That's going to be hard. You put five YouTubers up, and one of them's your mate, and the other 4 you don't know. Who are you going to vote for? You're going to go through their last month's videos to see who did the best that month. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably just as guilty as the next person to vote for who's your favourite tuber rather than who's the best YouTuber in that month.
I think I know what you mean, but it's. Like I said, I'm probably wrong in that situation. You know what I mean? The way I'm interpreting it is probably wrong, but it's.
Well, there's no wrong way. You vote for who you want to vote for. I mean, quite often, when the nominations go up, maybe 3 or 4 I've already subscribed to. I'll go and check out the ones I haven't subscribed to. I'll go away and think about it for a week or 2, and then I'll come back and I'll vote. And this last month, I voted on the last day because I completely forgot I hadn't voted. So I just got in on the last night. So
it's. I sort of. I think what that's sort of pointed out, which is one of the positives about it, is people are pointing out to sort of new channels you're not subscribed to. You do check them out because of people nominating them, and more often than not, I'd rather not vote than make it look like I'm voting for just my mate, sort of thing.
So sometimes when there's been 3 or 4 people in the nominations that are also in the WhatsApp group, you're going to upset some people, and I'll privately message them saying I'm voting for this person and this is the reasons why, and they're all cool with it. So
it's the way I look at it is, I think if you're putting out content I enjoy, I'm going to vote. That doesn't necessarily mean that the other tubers are putting out bad content. Far from it. But I'm voting the content I enjoy watching.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I was put up was last year. I was up against Sega Zombie, Ross, Bahaha, Mr. Tatman, who was Retro Boopy at the time, and Bucky, and a number after it. I'm not quite sure of the number. He's American tuber. I was under no illusion that I was ever going to get anywhere near to winning. I was only on 35 subscribers at the time, but the exposure you get just from nomination is phenomenal, and that's being nominated is the best thing. Getting that exposure is the best thing.
That's the one thing that's another. I don't. It seems like I'm being negative tonight, but I don't want to be. But it's. I've been nominated twice, right? And I thought, okay, great, fantastic exposure, right? I don't expect fucking millions of subscribers, but I want to see like at least a sort of half a decent jump. And I'm like, barely got 5, 10, if that. I probably lost more than I gained.
So what I did, I mean, this is what I did. So you're going to be nominated a good week before they tell your nomination. Yeah. So at that point, I've made a few videos, had them all on standby, ready to go. On the day that I got nominated, put one straight out and had the rest series to go straight out afterwards.
Yeah.
So you've already got the content going, and you're not going, oh, quick, I need to scrabble around and get some content out. Just that's what I did. So was I trying to get votes? Probably yes, but I never went on and asked for votes. I think I did a video saying I'd been nominated and these are the 4 other nominations. Please check them out and vote for who you want.
I think I've done the same thing when James Shack was sort of nominated for me. Which I still the one thing that I always go back to when he done his video who was nominated was he's one of the few people on video to still class him as the Anvil, which obviously still makes me laugh, sort of thing. But when he sort of I think that's one of the few times I actually put a video out saying I've been nominated, sort of thing. But the way I looked at it was more like, yeah, I've been nominated, but more importantly, look at the other channels, sort of thing.
I mean, the first time I got nominated, and obviously I didn't win, I did a video afterwards saying I didn't win, but these are the 5 channels I would have put up had I won. And I did a shout out for 5 channels. I just took it as another opportunity to shout some great channels out anyway. So, and sort of took a positive out of it. So,
yeah, I think there's been a few for me. There's been a few positives during this year, which is for me to be my little review bit of the video. I think a few of the highlights for me this year has been both YouTuber of the Month nominations, which again didn't win, but it was still great to be nominated. And also, from what I've noticed, 2 shout outs this year. You being the first one to give me a shout out, which I'm still grateful for, and the Retro Bear. I remember him a few months ago giving me a shout out on one of his videos. Like, I didn't he didn't say to me like privately, I'm going to shout you out or anything like that. It was, what's his video? And he sort of gave me a shout out. I'm like, which I appreciate. A small little thing like that, I think for me was a few highlights of this year that I may not be the biggest tuber in the world, I may not be the most entertaining, the most polished YouTuber in the world, but I'm clearly doing something right if these guys are acknowledging me.
I still remember the first shout out I got, and it was really out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it. I nearly fell off my chair, but I think I was languishing around 12 subscribers. I wasn't really good at the social networking thing and getting your name out there. And all of a sudden, while I was at work, I was getting notifications, ding, 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 of all these subscribers. And I went from like 12 up to 27 in the space of 10 minutes. I was like, what's going on? So that evening, I was looking around all the different channels, and it was just out of the blue, in the middle of a pickups video, Pete Fighter 2 said, oh, yeah, you've got to check out Cooper's World.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I didn't even know he'd ever heard of me. So it's like...
Well, that's the thing. I remember when I thought while we told, I put a few comments up on stream. I remember when you first messaged me, I think it was through Discord, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Basically asked me my permission sort of for the shout out. Or initially I thought he's having me on here. This is a fucking joke at first. But it wasn't until I was like, I thought I'll be polite and sort of, like if you want to do me a shout out. There was like, when it happened, I'm like, okay, you weren't lying. He actually gave me the shout out. I'm like, you did the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some channels that I've asked them and they've just blanked me and not got back to me, and so I didn't shout them out. And I've mentioned them in WhatsApp groups and stuff. There's one, Manor Owls. They seem a great YouTube channel, but they never got back to me, so I didn't do a video. I always like to ask their permission, because some people don't like their real names used, because they've got a persona and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've shouted out Phoebe Chicken. I've never mentioned his real name.
Yeah.
There's another channel, Hatham Gruxton, of one of the early shout-outs I did. He said I could mention his name, so I mentioned his first name, not his second name. He was fine with that. But I always like to get their permission. I don't want to start annoying people. And also, the other thing that really annoys you is if someone has shouted you out and you've got a load of subscribers and you've just got to try and find out who it was because you want to say thank you or something. I'm not expecting thank yous, but it's to save them searching around YouTube trying to find out why they've just suddenly got some subscribers. So,
well, I remember you said about asking the permission for the first name, or the might persona sort of thing. Like I said earlier, the closest thing to a persona I've got is basically what Mark Geordie Slasher sort of, he's one who started it, which was the Anvil.
Yeah.
Here's what remember. He was the first person that was. I mean, he commented on one of my videos. I still sort of can't remember this. He sort of commented on my pickups, saying, "When you stroke your beard, it reminds me of the Anvil."
Yeah, exactly the same.
Then obviously it sort of carried on from that. Then sort of, like I said, Aussie Nave Game Shack sort of mentioned that it is nominating me, sort of. I'm like, clearly I must have that sort of kind of not that look sort of thing. So it's that's for me the closest thing to a persona sort of thing is basically being the Anvil of the community.
I mean, there's going to be people out there that have got sensitive jobs and don't want their real name out in the public. Yeah. So I respect that, and I always ask their permission what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. And I normally get the channel to tell me a bit about themselves, what their goals are, what they want to do.
It's because it is. I remember me asking myself at the time was the way I was sort of doing my channel, I sort of gave you information sort of thing, and like I think that's a good thing because it's if you just said to people, "Watch this channel," here's the name, you think why sort of thing. But when you tell them this is why what they collect, you sort of do a bit more of an insight. You think, hold on, I liked that, I like that, I collect that. Screw it, I watch sort of thing. Which I think the way you do it, I think is a sort of in a sense smart way of doing it. You're sort of give it a little mini bio sort of thing of that channel.
Yeah, and one thing I think I learned off Gernaldinho, when he did his out and about shout outs, he used to go for a walk and do a shout. He'd never mention his channel name. He'd never have a channel intro or anything like that. And if you watch any of my Sunday morning shout outs, I never mention Cooper's World. There's no logo of mine, anything. It's all about the shout out. I only talk about them and then off. And I've sometimes I've rambled and I've gone into stuff that I shouldn't have done about myself, and it's like, no, it's about them. I'll stop and reshoot it. So
Yeah, but I think I like how sort of, like you said, obviously it's about them, and you sort of dedicate that sort of minute after 2 minutes to them. It's sort of, I think it's sort of, because obviously, well, I think a lot of shout outs do get lost in a video sort of thing, and the fact that you're doing solely a video giving that person a shout out, it's sort of, I think like for a lot of people, it's a bit more meaningful to them.
And it was supposed to be, you wake up on a Sunday morning, you've got your phone, it's relaxing music in the background. It's only 2 minutes, bang, you can watch it. Do you like it? Yes, I've subscribed to them. Done.
Yeah,
I don't want people spending hours on a Sunday morning because they're not going to do that. It's just quick, relax, in and out, done. And that's why it uploads at 5 a.m. So people that wake up at 6, it's already there. And I don't want people coming back from a nightclub on a Saturday night already watching it. So I've sort of set it at 5 o'clock in the morning to drop. So I sort of catch people in the morning, apart from people in Japan or people in the US.
yeah. Then Zone Bowden put it straight to work with other channels the same size, as both get exposure and you can have a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, I think if you're trying to work with each other, sort of thing, help each other, sort of grow, sort of thing, sort of a best of both worlds, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a few people's streams, and sometimes I get a bit lost. I mean, I got invited to the horror stream at Halloween, and I'm not a horror gamer, and I sort of got a bit lost in the chat and just ended up watching the chat rather than contributing to the chat. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of those things. I'm going to be pick and choose what streams I go on in future. If it's not something I'm into, even though there might be, I don't know, a lot of exposure. If it's not a subject I can
yeah,
contribute to, then yeah, I mean, if
yeah.
not that
I
it's
know what
ever
you
going to
mean.
happen, not that it's ever going to happen, but if Metal Jesus said to me, "Come on my stream and talk about a Barbie game," I'm just going to sit there in silence and look a fool. So to even more
Yeah,
people, so there's no point in me going on there, even though that it'll be great exposure. But I'll just look like an idiot sat there not knowing what I'm talking about.
yeah.
So I'd pick and choose what I'm going to be doing in the
I
new
think
year anyway.
the only person in this community that will go onto that video of Metal Jesus or talking about a Barbie game will either be Big Game Out or Retro Bear.
You'll be surprised. I saw Retro Ghetto's picked up a Barbie game for his Wii U full set. I think he paid 40 quid for it as well.
Oh, for a Barbie game.
Yeah, for the Wii U.
Yeah, true. That's the thing. I think that a lot of times if you say, "Oh, that's decent price," then you see it for more collectible console. It's sort of, you do see the sort of price difference.
Nothing wrong with Barbie games, as long as there's a horse involved.
Well, if there's no horse, no point picking it up.
Well, I still, and I don't class myself as a gamer yet because I don't own a horse game yet. Unless you're going to include Ocarina of Time or something like that.
So if that's the case, if you have to have a horse game to be classed as a gamer, then I'm not a gamer then. Bollocks.
Just a collector.
Yeah. Does like we say horse game? Does the game have to be horse shit?
Maybe.
If that's the case, I'd probably find that a horse shit game. Probably one here somewhere. But where did the sort of horse game obsession start anyway? Was it Big Game Out?
It was either Al or Ross or Eddie, I think. They've all got horse games. Ross likes playing rubbish horse games anyway. Oh, and Retro Bear collects horse games as well.
Yeah, but Retro Bear has like the Great Wall of fucking Wii games.
Yes.
Like if you stacked them up to like a big in line, you can probably reach the fucking moon if you stood on top.
I don't think he's halfway through the Wii set yet. I think
he has to be close. Has to be close. He has so many. He's got to be.
I don't know.
You know, it seems like it's the fact that he sort of can't not unless he slowed, not unless he stopped, but sort of slowed down picking games up for it. Clearly, he's sort of struggling to find games for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm only about 160 Wii games, so
I think I'm 15. They're games I want in my collection.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna whittle mine down anyway. So
I think the only one that's sort of you can probably class as a sort of joke game is Sega Bass Fishing.
Sega Bass Fishing. You got a fishing game then?
Yeah. I just always picked them up when I saw them, as most are pretty obscure. Other than that, most of the PS2 ones. You know, with PS2, there's the PS2 like the Wii. There's so much shovelware in that system.
Well, I mean, I used to own a PS2, but I only bought the games I wanted to buy. I mean, I was chasing girls, going down the pub at the time, so money I spent on games was only going to
Yeah.
be good games. So it was only like the Grand Theft Autos and Gran Turismos and things like that that I spent money on. So I've never really had any rubbish on the PlayStation 2. So I've got no experience of it.
With what was in my PS2 collection at the moment is the sort of like, in a sense, a staple game like the GTA's, the Gran Turismos. I've got some of the Star Trek games. I've been in the Star Trek, and I've got one of the Persona games. But so many game changes on the PS2. But yeah, there's some shovelware. Some. It's pretty much at least I reckon at least a quarter of the PS2's library is shovelware, easily.
I couldn't comment. There's a lot of cheap PS2 games, yeah, and there's some expensive ones, but I don't know enough about the PlayStation 2 to say there's a lot of shovelware. There's a lot of shovelware on the Wii, yes.
I think that's something that most systems have their own sort of shovelware up to an extent.
Yeah, it seems to just be that sort of one, maybe two systems in a. So the PlayStation 2, maybe a bit of the PlayStation 3, the Wii, not so much the GameCube, and not so much. Well, maybe the Switch. I don't know. There's a lot of games on the Switch, a lot of games, and I don't know them all. So the Wii U, not so much.
I think N64 there's not a lot of shovelware on the N64. I think from what I remember, there's not a lot of shovelware on the N64.
Yeah.
But granted, it wasn't a big library anyway. But even then, there still weren't a lot of shovelware on it.
No, I don't think you had those back in the older generations because they're well, Nintendo had their seal of quality supposedly. So,
But how far does that still go though? Like they released fucking Home Alone on the NES. See, that still don't go far.
Well, the seal of this is going to make a lot of money because it's a movie time.
Oh yeah, that's the seal. Yeah, sorry. It's that financial seal. It's like, yeah, it's movie related. It's making money.
Mediocre races and platformers. I'm just trying to.
Well, actually, I'm on about 10 games at the moment because I'm very sort of kind of picky. But mine is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 wrestling games. One Star Wars game, Body Harvest, Perfect Dark, and GoldenEye.
I was just looking at mine, are mainly racers and platformers. But Donkey Kong 64 is platformer, Diddy Kong Racing, ISS, Glover, Possible Mission, Top Gear Rally, Ocarina of Time, Banjo-Kazooie, Pod Racer. So there's a lot of racers, yes.
You are. I think I'd rather races than sports titles. Which, yeah, there were some sports titles on the N64, but compared to most systems, it was virtually non-existent, if you will.
Mm.
You know, it's sort of. I know some people go for all these fucking FIFA games, but I know, but if you're into FIFA games, then it's up to you, sort of thing. Ocarina of Time is one of the best games ever made. Never played it. Never played it.
God.
You don't like it no more, do you, mate?
It's got a horse in it.
Oh, has it now? I'm not buy it. Just a horse. Yeah, but how much horse action is there? Actually, please don't answer that, for God's sake. Okay, how much do you ride the horse? No, I'm trying to say that. How much is the horse in the game, basically?
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Because if it's a decent amount, it's maybe worth buying.
It's worth buying.
You know, it's sort of. That's I don't know why I missed Zelda. Do not know why. Apparently there's plenty of hosts. So I might have to buy it just for the whole section.
There you go.
Damn, a lot of. I'm surrounded.
Equestrian.
What's that mean? Am I retarded?
Horse riding. Horse riding.
Oh. I might, in that case, I might buy Ocarina of Time just for the horse riding. Yeah,
definitely.
But you got any more goals or?
Finish this room off. There's some niggly little snag list things to do on there, so I've still got a bit of skirting board to put down there, a little bit of painting. I've got another shelf to go in, but
have you done a room tour yet, or you wait until it's done? Do you do it?
No, I've not done a room tour yet. There you go.
A little hint, little tease.
Yeah, I was saying on a stream, not a stream, on a WhatsApp group the other day, I was trying to get a room tour, reveal tour video going and get some guests on, and I was trying to do it and get some YouTubers out of retirement and do it like that. And trying to get YouTubers out of retirement and organised was terrible, and it sort of dragged on, so I haven't done it yet. It's on the back burner. I might still do it. If not, I'll just get a room tour out in the new year.
I think Zeta Zombie must have said we were talking about Sega earlier.
We weren't slagging it off, honestly.
Would love to see a room. We would love to see a room tour twofold. Would love to see a Nintendo collection.
Right, I'll get one done in the new year. I was trying to get a couple of tubers out of retirement and try and get a little interview going, sort of make it more of a social. Well,
what you could do, just for a start, you should just do your Nintendo section. That's it.
That's all I've got. I've got 2 Mega Drive games that Boothie sent me, and that's it.
How many Saturn games you got?
None. It's only Nintendo in here. Oh, I've got a load of. I'm not
doing much better than you then.
I've got a load of 360 trade and PS2 trade as well, and PS3 trade set in the trade box. But
yeah, obviously, as Sega Zombies in the comments about Sega again. I think some of those games I've got are sort of games that are sort of. I've tried to get some staples and some sort of games that look sort of good. So I've got Sonic 1 and 2 for Mega Drive, and I've got one of Simpsons games.
I do have. Hang on, let me try and grab it. See, that was a must-have on the Switch that I had to get. So
I actually played that the year it was shown at EGX Res. And as much as I love the sort of selection of games on it, I probably enjoyed the main menu as much as the rest of the game. Because it is this sort of, you sort of get the game off the shelf with the TV sort of thing. I thought that was a nice little touch, but in a sense, living the old days of getting the physical game off the sort of shelf. I'm like, that's how main menu should be.
And the thing that pissed me off the most about this, it didn't have Outrun on it. So I had to buy it separately onto the Switch. So
I think, especially nowadays with like storefronts on consoles, is why did they sort of do DLC for that game, like add-on games sort of thing, like Outrun and things like that?
They're all on the store anyway, so you could go out and buy them on the store anyway. But you mean to load it into the menu so you could load it up on the on that menu? Maybe, but yeah, I'm not really a digital purchaser, so obviously I had to buy Outrun because there wasn't a physical. And,
but Outrun, you have to have Outrun somewhere, or on something to have Outrun.
Yeah, it's one I missed, and I bought Final Fantasy VII because I want to try that. I found out now you can get an Asian copy physical on the Switch, but I've bought a digital one now. So, but I don't tend to buy digital games because if the worst comes to the worst, I could sell all this and get some money out of it. Not a lot, but I'll get some money. But digital games, I can't do anything with. So,
well, that's the thing with digital games. I was looking at the PlayStation storefront the other night. I was like, obviously in VR games at like decent prices. I'm like, I could get that, but I'm not going to. I'd rather have it physical. And I'm like that with most things. Like, even with DVDs, I'm like, I've got to have these sort of physical versions, sort of thing. I'm like, I've got a mate of mine who's like, that game's on Game Pass. This is on Game Pass. This has been on Game Pass. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I've got it on that shelf. I've ordered it. It's like, shut the fuck up, sort of thing. Don't try and change me.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Nintendo Online, the NES and the SNES, I'll play those online because they come as part of the online package. But I'd still like to have the physical at some point. I'm not going to say, no, it's digital, I'm never going to play it. I'll play it because it's there. But at some point, I'd like to own the physical. But I'm very conscious I'm never, ever going to say I'm going to collect for a full set. One, because you're setting yourself up for failure. But if I do one day get close to a full set, then I might go for it. But I'm never going to. I mean, the Wii's never, ever going to happen on the Wii.
Yeah, but for you, though, with your space, your taste in games, which would be the most likely set you'll go for if you did go for a full set?
Let's discount the DSi that I already have a full set for because there's only 4 games. So that doesn't matter. The Wii U is probably the cheapest one to go for, and probably the easiest one at the moment. Then I think it's probably going to be GameCube after that, because I think Wii's just going to be too much.
I think for me, Vita. I'm being honest.
Expensive set to go for.
What? I don't really do limited run, really. So I won't be including that. Special editions that we spoke about earlier, unless it's the only one I can get, then fair enough. But if you were going by the CEX list of games, there's only 220 games.
Yeah.
I've got about 80.
Oh,
So if I was going to buy a CEX full list, I'm close to halfway ish.
but how much are the ones left?
If you looked at the heavy hitters for Vita, like I said, the CEX list of heavy hitters, I've got 3 of them: Persona 4, Persona Dance All Night, and Silent Hill. There's not many games really above that price. The last time I looked, the most expensive game on the Vita was £100. But there's not many games above the Silent Hill price, if you will.
I think Ross disagrees there.
Vita is a tough set, been trying for years. I think if you with full sets, I know Rob Essex Retro is doing Dreamcast. If you set yourself clear roles, outlines, you're pretty much fine. If you don't do variants, if you don't do limited runs, super rare games, you actually stick to a sort of a specific list. It's Vita's becoming a lot more expensive nowadays because it's becoming a little bit more collectible. But it's I think if you follow a straight sort of line, you have clear guidelines and you stick to them, I don't think it's as scary as you think. CX has Rose of Twilight listed for 125. Okay, so 125 is the most expensive game of Vita then at the moment.
I think with CX, if they don't have it in stock, it sits at the price when it went out of stock, and then when it comes into stock, it will go back up. It will go up to the 230. I've seen that on a couple of Wii RPGs that eBay's going for like 120, 140 pounds, and CX have got it at 20 but out of stock. And I'm waiting for it to come into stock to try and nab it before the price goes up.
I've noticed CX with Vita. It's when I picked up the 3 heavy hitters I mentioned, I picked them up. I think like Silent Hill. Let's take that as an example. I think I paid £45 at the time. Within a month of me getting that, it went up to 60. It slightly went back down to 55, then went back up to 60, and it's been like that for the last few months.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
But it's, highest is actually Danganronpa V3 at 130 now, but it's a high chance you might have that. The expensive Danganronpa I haven't got. Like I said, some of these sort of heavy hitters.
I'm just going to go and grab a drink and come back.
Okay. So with the heavy hitters, I've got the ones I want. It's actually pretty lean forward. But I know for a lot of people, it's when they want the Vita, they want. I know Rob really wants Silent Hill. The last time it was in the Basildon CEX, it was fucking like a printed cover. It's obviously he doesn't want a printed cover. With mine, I got quite lucky. But I know. But obviously, you might know this better than I do. But why I know there's 3 Danganronpa games on the Vita. Why is V3 the most that price? I know the rest are like 30, 40 quid ish. Why is that one that expensive? And obviously, so there's one bit I'm glad you're in the street in the chat, mate. It's nice to have a legends, or your legends, but a sort of a Mario Caraba in the comment section. Now the with 2 parts of it. They have all shot up in prices. They got removed from the store. They have all shot up quite a bit. I know for a lot of games they were sort of worried about. I think it was last year. They were going to shut the Vita store with the PS3 one, and there was a bit of worry back then. There was prices prices went up for a lot of games. Some of them did come back down. Some of them obviously went up and stayed up. But I know that a lot of the Danganronpa games, I think, again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but V3 is on PS4. So why is it like a average price game on that, but not on the Vita? I know obviously probably limited print compared to the PS4 one. That might was the affairs, but not like fucking pretty much £100 difference. It's mental, I think. It's weird. There's quite a few. It's weird that there's quite a few Vita games that never hit the store, only got physical like Carl and Austin. Okay. I know with some games even with like BML systems or whatever, some games are what's the name collectible. I know with Silent Hill, it's Silent Hill's a collectible series in general. Cannot get away from that. But at the same time, Silent Hill on a Vita is exclusive to the Vita. So.
Hello. Back again.
You got your drink?
Yes. Sort the wife out with a drink as well.
Fair enough. I was been talking to Bar about video games, so.
Yes. Do you follow Food for Dogs, the Vita lady?
I don't actually. I don't think so.
I'll send you a link to her channel there.
Yeah.
She's little old lady in Australia. She is well into her Vita, but likes playing JRPGs and stuff.
Yeah, so
not what you would expect.
Yeah, you look at everything, like knitting and things like that, but she's sitting there playing RPGs.
Yes.
Yeah, she sent me a link. I was looking at a bit. For food for dogs is awesome. I told you Baja.
Yes. It's very, very strange when you first come across her channel and think, what is this?
That's the thing. I think sometimes the strange channels sometimes can be a bit more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I've just looked her up. 129,000 subscribers.
Clearly doing something right. Clearly doing something right. You know, that's what I mean. With Australia, I think there's Aussie.
Well, it might be New Zealand, so don't quote me. It might be New Zealand.
Well, let's say Australia until proven wrong. There's not many sort of big Australian YouTubers really.
There's more. There's more than you think. I found a few now.
Because the only one that I know of is Last Gamer.
I don't know them.
Then Last Gamer was for a few years had the world's largest video game collection.
Mm.
So what I'll do is after the stream I was doing his channel. But his collection's fucking like immense sort of thing. Like if you like big collections, and like he has things that you don't see often because he gets stuff from what Aussie locally, but also from like Japan, UK. He has contacts in Japan and things like that. It's like it's immense some of the stuff he gets.
Ken's Game Collection. He's another Australian YouTuber. He's around about 1,500 subscribers.
Yeah. Bob Harper, she has the old woman of Vita market covered. People like Max Ofo, I hope I mean that fucking right, are big from that part of the world. Does a lot of different stuff though. And Game84 Gaming put, what games are you both currently playing?
I'm just finishing this. I'm probably about 2-3 hours away from finishing it. So
a lot of people talk very highly about that. But again, Aussie, I need to get away from my current system. I need to sort of dive a bit more into the Switch.
Well, Ease is on Vita, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like one or two on now. There's a couple on now. So there's well, if you're doing like RPGs and JRPGs, there's enough on there to make it worthwhile, sort of thing. It's depending on if you're happy with paying the price for the games. It's where how sort of comfortable you feel paying, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's obviously like I said, if you like JRPG/RPG or multiplayer games, the Final Fantasy games, there's the Sky games, there's obviously the Ease games.
Yeah.
There's obviously if you want to sort of if you want to play a game that's sort of not like too stressful, but like visually people to look at. There's so many fucking Japanese story games on now. It's sort of got them. Also, you got ports of like fucking console games like obviously Need for Speed Most Wanted on now. Couple of Borderlands 2's on now. It's like it's games on that you expect, and it's games on that you don't expect to run on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, I've been trying to finish that, and where I've been so engrossed in it, sometimes you just need a break from it and to play something completely different. So I play Outrun in between sessions, just something to do, and then I was playing Minecraft the other day on survival mode just to something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I think because the past few weeks I've been working so much, I've probably watched more gaming-related content than actually playing games.
That's something I really struggle with, the balance of watching YouTube, making YouTube, and playing games and home life. Yeah. It's like how am I balancing all of those? So I'm trying to set a structure up where I play games on these nights, spend time with family on these nights, and maybe make some content on these nights.
Yeah.
I know it's never going to work because family is always going to come first. So
yeah. And I think for a lot of people, if you have like a normal 9-to-5 job, it's a lot easier to do that. Unfortunately, for the nature of my work, it's start early, finish late sort of thing. It's sort of it's hard sort of balance everything sort of thing.
I have to agree with Gordon. Xenoblade Chronicles X is a beautiful looking game. It's the only one I really haven't got into, and I've once I set my Wii U back up down here, I fired it up. Couldn't remember it at all what I was doing, where I was, and a lot of the online stuff's been shut down now. So I'm hoping they're going to port it over to Switch, and I'm hoping that's either next year or Xenoblade 3 comes out next year. So
yeah, or they could probably do what they've done with Bayonetta. On everyone's Bayonetta, you bought number 2, you get number 1 in the case sort of thing.
Yeah.
So not necessarily sort of do like a double pack where you get like the new one and the one before it in the case sort of thing.
They don't follow on. They're all standalone games, so they possibly won't do that. But it's the only big game now left to come over from the Wii U onto the Switch, I believe. There might be a couple others, but yeah. That's
I mean, we've there's a lot of games that came over from the Wii U to the Switch, and it's to the point now. I think at least please leave some exclusives to the Wii, for God's sake. You know what I mean? At least make people want to sort of
Barbie game for.
Oh, your horse riding! I forgot.
Exclusive. Well, no, that was multi-platform. No, that was ported. Rodeo Sky Soldier. Rodeo Sky Soldier, but that was on Wii as well.
There probably is a big exclusive.
A lot has been ported. It's either been from the Wii to the Wii U or the Wii U to the Switch.
Yeah.
A lot was ported, yeah.
I think with modern games, there's no, unless it's sort of like it's like made by Sony for Sony console. But generally speaking, there's not many sort of big exclusives for consoles nowadays. Unless it is like I said, like a Sony studio for Sony or a Microsoft game for Microsoft. There's no, it's sort of apart from that, there's no. It's getting hard to find exclusives like not made by the company making the console.
Well, you look at Mario Kart 8 got ported to the Switch, and that's I think the Switch's best-selling game. So why would you have made a Mario Kart 9 when just porting the same game over, and you've got a system seller there, and I believe this last month was the Switch's best-selling month in the UK ever, and that's because it got bundled on Black Friday with Mario Kart 8 and 3 months online subscription.
To me, that's what it don't make sense. It's
a 3-year-old console pushing 4-year-old console, and it is best-selling month and outsold the next best console, which was the Xbox at the time, in a distant second place.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the console was like 3-4 years old. The game is probably is obviously to be older than that, and yet that was its best year, best month. Like, it sort of, in a sense, don't make sense. It should, like, if it was like if you bundled that with the new Pokemon on Black Friday for a discount, then fair enough. You expect it to be like a massive hit sort of thing, but not like a 4-year-old system with an old game sort of thing.
Yeah, it's madness, but I suppose it's mum and dad buying Christmas presents, and they've seen a deal and bought it. Maybe I don't know.
Yes, I know. There's there's 2 new Pokemon games out because they sort of remade to the
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I was trying to remember my system, so I know obviously even did the DS. I knew I sort of. There's so many Pokemon games. You're trying to sort of remember what system they're for, sort of thing.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I don't play. I've played Pokemon games, and I think after Diamond and Pearl, I sort of lost interest in them
Well, for me, it's sort of I've done the original. Like, I've done red, blue, and yellow. Kind of dabbled into gold.
Mm.
Apart from that, not really sort of touched them.
Yeah, as I said, I wasn't really a handheld gamer, so I didn't really get on with the Pokemon franchise at all. And it wasn't till I got Pokemon Sapphire from the Nintendo Star Points, I ordered it off their store, that I played my first Pokemon game and played it all the way through to completion. Loved it. Bought Pearl, played that, went to a Pokemon event, got some rare Pokemon or something, played that through to completion, and that was it. It's like, no, it's the same story, relatively, and why would I want to play another one?
So I think the thing I sort of love to hate about the Pokemon series is, let's take the original 3 games for an example. Fundamentally, they're basically the same game, but you need to buy each one. Trade, because one game might have a certain amount of Pokemon, the next one might have like the missing one sort of thing. You've got to transfer them over to fill out your Pokédex. It's like, it's like, I think obviously, I don't know. Obviously, I was a kid back then, so I don't really know the price of the Game Boy games at the time. But let's say they were 40 quid for argument's sake. To buy 3 of them, you basically spend £120.
But they hold their money.
Yeah,
you're never going to lose money on a Pokemon game, really, are you?
So. Well, at the moment, especially like I said, the last time I saw Blue in CEX, it was 130.
Yeah. I mean, the spin-off ones like the pinball or the Tetris type ones and stuff.
Yeah,
you might lose some money on those, but the out-and-out normal Pokemon games, you're not really going to lose any money.
I think the more nostalgia it is, the better it holds its value. It's like even with Pokemon Stadium on the N64, it's about a £25-30 game ish, but it's been that sort of price for the last few years. So even then, it's reasonably priced, but still sort of holds its value.
No,
so
I've got Pokemon White 2, never played it. Sun and Moon, I tried playing one of those, didn't get into it. I've got Pokemon on the GameCube, tried to play that, didn't get into that. But
at the moment, actually, I've got one here somewhere. I'll get my tin here. I swear I've got one. Yeah, I've got one. I've got the Japanese yellow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only one I've got.
I can't.
The only reason I got that because it was like a lot cheaper than the UK one.
Well, I got my Pokemon Red for free. I bought this at a car boot sale for £1, and it had Pokemon Red in the back. It had Pokemon Red in the back, so
I can't. £1 for Game Boy and Pokemon Red is a bargain.
Yeah, I know.
Because even like a loose copy of Red is like a 10-15 plus pound game.
But I don't know where I got yellow from. I think it was a person at work just got a load of loose cartridges together and said, "Oh, these were sons. I don't want them." I gave him some money for them, but there was Pokemon. I want to say Crystal, but that was a fake one. I pointed him out. It was a fake one. So
I think obviously with my yellow, I bought one from a local sort of retro shop, and obviously he had it in his sort of his Game Boy section, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll pick it up," sort of thing. You can probably play it if you play it once, you can kind of sort of do it without read in Japanese, but obviously, like, if you've not played it, obviously you need to speak Japanese sort of thing.
Mm.
And obviously, yes, free is clearly the best price.
Yes, definitely.
Or the next best thing, a Game Boy for £1 with Pokemon Red inside.
Yeah.
The Game Boy works fine though.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got any batteries in it now, but it was working fine last I played it. But
Yeah.
I don't really play it because I've got these two. So
Yeah.
playing one of those or Game
I've
Boy
got a
Advance.
Game Boy Color, but at some point I want to mod the screen, so it's the sort of LED or whatever it is, or the backlit.
Yeah.
I think the Game Boy is a good system to play, but obviously it's that screen. It's sort of going back to it now. It's like it's awkward to go back to.
Yeah. So I don't know where I keep collecting these things, but I ended up with two of this colour, in fact. So my son had one, and he wanted the shell changed to the Pokemon yellow one with Pokemon on. So he got that, and then I don't know how I've managed to pick up two of these. Yeah, things keep appearing, and I don't know where I'm getting them from. This one's pretty scratched, but then I've got a blue one as well. I don't know. Things appear. I don't know where they come from.
With them Game Boy SPs, they're always fucking damn scratched, isn't they? I can't really help it get scratched.
I had a red one as well, but I changed the shell to Atomic Purple because my son wanted it, so he's got an Atomic Purple one.
I do stretch to it weird. Yeah, true these days. It can be quite expensive.
Yeah, I haven't had many bargains in my time, but that was definitely one of them. So.
I mean, bargains. I've been lucky with some games, but I think with a lot of stuff I've bought, I think the thing that's helped me is going to the same shop all the time, and the owner knowing what I collect. So, and he sort of going regularly, sort of gives me like discount and stuff, or like a free game here and there, sort of thing. Or he gave me. He actually gave me two things just because I know I'm arrested. One was a SmackDown, was a two, guides, like roster guide sort of thing, and he gave me a WWF Attitude N64 Rumble pack for free. I'm like, because he knew I liked wrestling, so I think things like that help. Like if you go to like the same sort of mom and pop shop regularly, get to know them sort of thing, that helps. CEX, you did fucking, they're sort of stuck to their prices, sort of thing. Because I've seen people do actually bargains on cash converters and shit like that, like 20p games. I'm like, why not like that? Mine are tight as fuck.
Yeah, I'll see people showing pickups and they go, "Oh, I can't believe the deal I got this." And I think I've never seen any deals like that in my charity shops.
No.
My charity shops at best, I've got games at the same price as CX, and they're normally really rubbish.
Yeah,
I think a lot of charity shops have cottoned on that they know they can just take it into CX for cash.
Yeah, with any sort of charity shops near me, I'm lucky to see any games in any of my charity shops. Is that I can go in there 2-3 times a week for a few weeks, see fuck all, not go for 6 months, go back in and be like, okay, if I'm lucky. I'm like, and sort of don't really help because I know obviously locally to me is like two or three collectors, including myself. One being Rob, Essex Retro, and I think Sega Saturn lad is quite close by to me and all, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So it was a couple of us locally, so it's sort of trying to sort of fight them off, sort of thing.
Well, I didn't realise until recently there's a couple of tubers that live quite close to me. I thought Ross was the nearest one to me in Bournemouth, but it was on Retro Game Revival, looking on their stream, and
Yeah,
there's two of them that were in the same town as me, Southampton, and I messaged him saying, "Oh, you're in my hometown," and then one of them came back and said the actual town, not Southampton, but the actual town
yeah,
I live in. It's like, whoa, that is really close. That's walking distance to
yeah.
my house now.
I think if we were doing sort of like I said, obviously, I think saying that now close to me, Rob's close to me, Aussie, Retro Chef is quite local to me. I think after that it's then Roger Retro Gamer. I think he's Clacton.
Mm.
I think Clacton's about an hour or so max from where I am, so it's sort of beyond that I don't really know sort of thing. For the longest time, to my knowledge, I think now Big Game L is like London way. I'm probably wrong, but the way it's sort of it's as far as the way people make it sound like it's sort of London way, but I'm probably wrong. But it's quite strange until you look properly, you don't realise how many collectors there are locally to you.
There seems to be a lot. Oh, no, that's unfair. I was going to say there's a lot down south, but there's a lot up north as well. So
Yeah,
someone streamed the other day. They're saying there was a lot more in London than they expected. But the more you do YouTube, the more you sort of start discovering channels closer to you. So Games
yeah,
Zone Bird Room used to live on the Isle of Wight, which was quite close to me. There's another YouTuber on the Isle of Wight that I didn't know that James mentioned, shouted out. I think he might have nominated him as for YouTuber of the month, actually. And then I just thought it was Ross and then Woolly Weevil were the closest ones, but no, there's
yeah.
loads now coming up really close to me. So
Yeah, like I said, it's to sort of expand to talk to, don't really realise.
yeah, and then my son lives very close to Daily Retro, and then my daughter lives quite close to Beth Bear. So it's like, wow, there's a small world, really. There's people all over the place. So
Yeah, it's. I think what I like that even though there's a lot of us, it's still sort of like evenly spread across the country, sort of thing. It's sort of no, it's sort of, like, to me, it seems like no one area dominates the other, sort of thing.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, there's I can't really think of anywhere that isn't represented really.
Yeah, I think what I was like, even like for me, like let's take Essex, for argument's sake. There's each people that are in Essex are still sort of there's still a gap between, so we're still sort of evenly spread across Essex, sort of thing. So it's sort of if I don't know if Rob said to me he picked his camera up from Basel CX for me, I can do it. I'm local to that.
Yeah.
Or if he done Southend, I'd be like, he pick that up for me, sort of thing. It's that sort of. It seems like that's with everyone. I know that sort of even though it's sort of perfectly spread across the country, but even each area is still sort of perfectly spread.
I was being very careful not to mention where YouTubers live or roughly where they live as well. So when I was going through that, because I was like, okay, I don't want to give people's personal stuff. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, Rob's channel called Essex Retro. It's no secret where he's from. So
no, it's not hiding from that. There's no hiding from that. You know, it's and not unless he's been lying to us this whole time.
Yeah, he lives up north.
Yeah, he sees me up north, but actually he visits Essex regularly.
Yeah,
you know, it's. But obviously, even with Lee, the restaurant chef, and the fact that he sort of says he's from God's country, Essex, even then he sort of can't really hide from it, sort of thing.
No.
So it's sort of, like I said, I think everyone being so sort of spread, it sort of helps each other because if we're picking up a game or want to get a game from say CEX, there's like one copy and say you live locally to it. I need to say to them, that's you. Can you check it out for me? If it's different, can you pick it up for me, sort of thing. So things like that, I think, helps, sort of thing. We help each other by doing living so sort of far apart.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was trying to think of a bit of the country that wasn't represented, and I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. Every time I sort of, perhaps that part of the country, I'll think of another channel and they're that way as well. So
it's don't get me wrong, as much as I would love everyone to be in the same sort of town, it's nice that we're sort of spread apart, sort of thing.
Because we're all be going to the same charity shops. That's rubbish.
That is the point. Even any sort of all the shit titles Al would get, if it's not up to a good standard, Rob won't get it.
No,
you know.
True. But I think even Al's running out of 360 games to buy now. So
I think. I know the last month or so he sort of done his sort of road trip with Vince Northern and that. He was sort of picking up like 20, 30, 40 pound games. I'm like, you must be now sort of a bit more desperate for to make your collection bigger, sort of thing, by picking up the more expensive titles.
I think he's very close to finishing that 360 set, so that's why he's slowing down now, because it's the harder to find ones.
Yeah, I think don't wrong, good on him, but he's actually sort of going. He's trying his best for a full collection, so he's sort of. We may sort of joke about him picking up FIFA titles and Barbie games, but at least he's got a goal set to sort of go for.
Yeah, for sure. It's taken most of his front room up by the looks of it. I think when he did his video, it's like 4 or 5 bookcases full. So
yeah, it's like there's no wall there. It's just games.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like
old house is held up like a.
Yeah, if you remove the games, there's no house there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even with Rob Essex Retro is sort of the same sort of thing. If you remove his games, there's no walls out.
Yeah, I saw Rob's room tour, and the room looks bigger on camera than when he did his tour. I think he's partitioned it, but yeah, it was. It was interesting to see more sort of behind the camera type thing as well. But people with their camera angles making it look bigger than it is. So
with Rob's collection, I live locally to him. I've met up a few times with him. I've not actually seen his collection in person. I want to, but haven't. I think Lee Vetroshev has seen it. I know they regularly go boating, car boating with each other. But obviously, I've personally not seen it, so I don't. Does it look bigger on camera? Is it sort of, or is it actually sort of that sort of size in person? Until you stood there, you don't. It's hard to judge properly, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I met up with Al and Sean and Paul on their road trip. And I thought Al was going to be taller than he was. I thought he looked taller on camera, and when I met him in person, he's the same height as me.
How tall are you? Is that what I'm asking?
5'7". So.
No, 5'7". I thought he was a bit shorter than that.
I thought he was gonna be taller. But
with me, I'm about. I've not measured myself in years, so about 5'8", 5'9". So I'm kind of the same size as you, height-wise as you. But obviously I'm quite stocky, sort of thing. So it's sort of like balances sort of that sort of thing. It's sort of. It's like with Rob, Essex Retro. I've met with him a few times. He's taller than I thought he was going to be. I thought he would be like sort of basically bang on my height. He's a little bit taller than I am. So I reckon Rob's about if I had to guess, about 6 foot exact. If I had to guess. But I think it sometimes it does depend on camera angle and like, where you're doing your video. Sometimes you should look bigger, sometimes you should look smaller, sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's sort of
strange.
So I think it's getting to that point where we're sort of winding down now.
Yeah.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah.
So what I'll probably do for tonight, we'll probably end it at this point. Because I want to sort of drag it on and sort of force anything. But I'm glad you sort of were kind enough to sort of jump on stream. I know it was
fine.
sort of. I know in a sense it was kind of last minute sort of thing.
Well, it's. You gave me a couple of hours' notice, and I was available. But if I like go on Tony's stream, he said, "Oh, can you jump on now?" I was like, "No, I can't. I'm not ready to come on." And
well, that's the thing was when I initially asked, that's why I sort of gave the option of tonight and Sunday, like Sunday night. It was that sort of. I'd rather give you options that I know we can are a bit more sort of realistic to both of us, sort of thing. So so if I can sort of confirm nights and it's realistic for everyone, I'll give the option sort of thing, which I did obviously what I've done today sort of thing. And obviously I think when I asked, I was like, initially I weren't properly going to come back. I know that I was in polls, done a few videos. I was hoping to go back and polls a little bit longer until New Year, like be the next year, but I thought, fuck it, you know. I thought I'll jump on a stream and sort of try to get someone on.
It was an interesting subject. What your plans for the New Year gaming and YouTube wise? So it was good.
Yeah, it's. I think the way when I was thinking about it, no one's really doing that topic. It's this sort of time of year is going to be Christmas-based topics. I think no one sort of. I think it's nice to sort of talk about goals with people.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to have goals in your head, but it's nice to sort of balance them ideas of people, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
and it's not. I'm not never putting a hard and fast. I'm going to do this. It's just I would like to do this because if I say I want to complete 10 RPGs next year, it's probably not going to happen. But I'm setting myself up to fail. I'll just say I want to play some RPGs and do some reviews, and that's it.
Yeah. And with me, it's like I said, I want to do meetups with people at. I'll try to do it at conventions. So it's sort of there's things to distract you, sort of thing. It's not like like if you're looking at things, you can sort of help the conversation, sort of thing, have the fuel to the fire. Sort of that's about meeting up at EGX. We can talk about games that are there or things like that sort of thing. And before I leave, I'm going to be rude to Mr. Tapman. I haven't found any bargains recently. I don't know about you, Steve, but I've not found any.
Well, bargains. Nothing to bargain wise. I've got pickups. I've got a film, but no bargains really. No.
Well, with me, if I've done a pickup video, it'll be all comic books.
I try not to give it away. I did pick up some cardboard.
Oh, it's
probably giving it away with the green, but yeah. Someone will be
with me. I don't really do Super Nintendo. So for me, it's when you shut off, it'd be a surprise to me. So obviously, for hardcore Super Nintendo fans, they might be like, "Yeah, I know that."
someone's already gone. I know that green. I know exactly what it is, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know that shade of green. I know that location. I know what you've got. Sort of thing.
Yes.
But before we leave, you got any videos coming up for the next few weeks?
I've got to film a pickups video. I should have done that already, but I might do that tomorrow. Stream on the 18th. Christmas food and drink.
Fingers crossed I'll be there.
Hopefully, I'll just sit on the stream trying different drinks and get pissed. That's the plan.
Best way to celebrate Christmas, mate.
Yeah, I haven't really even thought about doing a Christmas video. Sean, Retro Game Revive normally asks us to do a Christmas message and puts that together.
Yeah.
So he might do that. I don't know yet, but
Ain't Big Game Alden on Christmas Eve or something?
yes. I think
Like getting pissed on stream sort of thing.
I think his one's going to be an open house, so it'll be pop on, say Merry Christmas, come off again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I booked Christmas Eve off, so I might jump in, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or show my face.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing Christmas Eve yet, so
yeah. Well, for you, it'd probably be like last minute wrapping presents for the kids, sort of thing.
Well, I finish on the 17th, so hopefully I've got all that done. But yeah, it could be last.
That's what you hope, anyway.
Yeah. Or I'm too drunk to come on. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Or a bit of both, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to leave it there for this time round. You'll see on the 18th. I'm sad I won't be back to the new year, but no, I'm like my something changed, and we'll be back before then. But obviously we're going to end everything there. And again, thank you for Troopers for jumping on the stream.
Thank you for having me on eventually.
Always a pleasure, never a chore, you know. I hope to speak to everyone real soon.
Right.
Ciao for now.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. And